Hey everybody, welcome. This is Snake Bites Gaming Uncut podcast. I would like to welcome you. If you're just listening, I also have a video podcast posted on the YouTube channel, The Black Snake. So if you're interested in the video, make sure you check that out. And if you just want the audio, I'll make sure to post that below. But again, I'd like to welcome you guys to our very first episode. Now, I want to share with you guys how I fixed Madden today. But before we get into that, it is a brand new podcast. So I want to make sure I introduce myself to you guys and get that out of the way. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys a few suggestions on games that I think you should get for the month of October. Now, we're deep in the month, but if you're on a budget, I'm going to give you a few recommendations if you haven't gotten anything to kind of help you decide if you're kind of stuck on the fence between something. Hopefully, I can help. But yeah, let's start with the intro. Again, you guys can call me Snake, the Black Snake, either one. I've been making content for several years now, mostly travel content. So I do have a travel YouTube channel. It's called It's My Passport Life. That's ITS, My Passport Life. You can find me on YouTube and TikTok as well as Instagram. So feel free, look me up, check me out. So I've been making content for a while. This is not new to me. I've been playing games even longer than that. Growing up, I was that kid that had to decide if you were going to be inside or outside. And I promise you, as soon as I got my first console, it was inside, baby, all day long. I loved it. But yeah, I love games. If you were to ask me what I'm playing, I'm a big PS5 guy, right? Don't get me wrong. I just bought my first PC, which comes in like a week or two. So I'm like super excited about it. So I just opened up a whole new realm of games that I've never tried and I've always wanted to try, but they've always been PC exclusive. So I'm happy for that. But my expertise right now is definitely in PS5 games. So on my console right now, Far Cry, Dragon Ball, 2K, Madden, Ninja Turtles. I even recently downloaded the Kingdom Hearts 3 game just because I missed it so much. So I get a variety of games for sure. There's a good chance that you might find something on my channel that you might like. So make sure you check out my YouTube again, guys, to see what I'm playing, or even give me suggestions in the comments because I'm willing to play games that people do recommend. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Played basketball growing up. I blew my knee out a few years ago, and that was a very depressing time in my life because I couldn't play basketball anymore. Something else I loved. But recently I've gotten into go-kart racing out in London, and I will be posting those videos here on this channel if you guys are interested in that as well on the YouTube channel. So make sure you check those out. But yeah, that's my new hobby that I'm into. But next, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. How to fix Madden, right? I've been thinking about this for years because I absolutely love football, but Madden does not scratch the itch that I wish it would scratch. I think it's time that Madden gets rid of player ratings. I think that they've run their course, and at this point, they are just hindering the creativity of developers, like honestly and truthfully. Now, if you've ever played football, if you've ever coached, if you've ever gone to a training camp where you get to watch the players practice, there's something that goes on that you don't get in Madden because of the player ratings, and that's the eye test. It doesn't exist anymore in the video game, right? Because you're giving me all the information up front. It's literally a cheat code. I know what each and every single player will do on my roster, not just my roster, but the other team's roster as well. Nothing's a secret, right? And what happens is there's a lot of modes in franchise that are completely dead. Because they give you the ratings up front, modes like practice and preseason games are pointless, right? You're giving me all the information I need. So there's no reason for me to do a preseason game and let two of my backup running backs handle the ball 20, 30 times in a game just to see who's better. There's no reason to do that because I know who's better by looking at the player rating. So if I look at running back A, B, and C, one's a 99 speed, one's a 85 speed, and one's a 80 speed, right? Those are just three basic stats. There's a lot more stats going on in total, but off of those three stats, if I wanted to decide who was going to start, who was going to be my bench running back, and who I'm cutting the lowest rated player automatically. Like, I know this before the preseason even kicks off. So why would I want to even play a preseason game just to watch a guy who I know I'm going to cut run the football. He doesn't stand a chance to make my roster. Like, it's pointless. Same thing with practice, man. Probably one of my favorite things about football was going out onto a practice field, especially at the start of the season. I want to see what guys can do. I want to see if my older players have regressed. I want to see if my young players are even good enough, or if they got room to grow. Like, there's nothing going on that's interesting outside of the actual games themselves. And when you take away all the other elements around the football game, it's boring. And touching back on developer creativity, right? Like how I said that they've limited player or developers' creativity. If you were to take away player ratings, it would force the developers to create scenarios and situations that would require you to have an eye test with players, right? So let's take the off season. That's one example we're going to look at here, right? The off season, there's somebody you want to sign, right? But you're not sure. Do you want to give them, $3, $4, $5 million to come to your team? Well, you know what? Before we do that, we're going to have a workout. You come on down. I'm going to put you through several drills. And based off of those drills, we're going to decide if we want you on our team or not. That doesn't exist in Madden. It exists in real football. They bring people in all the time just to look at them to see what they can do. And they'll make a decision. You know what? You're not really the fit that we need. You got the height, you got the weight, but your cuts aren't as sharp as we like them to be. We saw another guy last week that was a little bit more quicker than you, and that's who we're going to sign, versus me going into free agency, sorting it by the stat that I want more than anything and just saying yes. That's what Madden has turned into, and it's frustrating. It really is frustrating. So preseason games are pointless. There's no exploration, and developers have lacked creativity to develop meaningful systems to help you, pick players in the game. Like, it doesn't exist at all. So bring back the eye test, eliminate player ratings, bring back the eye test. And I guarantee hardcore football fans will fall in love with franchise again. Moving on. Again, we are deep in the month of October. So I'm going to share with you guys my list of PS5 games that I think you should get, especially if you're on a budget, right? So to start this off, we know Call of Duty is coming out this month, right? Black Ops 6. I'm going to get it because I need a new FPS shooter. Not having Battlefield anymore being one of the top games, I'm lacking in the FPS space, right? So one Call of Duty falls off, I get the other one automatically because there's nothing to compete with it, honestly and truly. So Call of Duty is on my list, but I'm going to put it at the number 2 spot. Something that surprisingly overtook Call of Duty for the month of October for me would be the new Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero game. Yes, that gets the number 1 spot for me. If you are on a budget and you could care less about FPS shooters, then yeah, without a doubt, Dragon Ball Z is the game to get. Even if you are not the biggest Dragon Ball fan, you might enjoy this game. Now, me, I'm biased, right? I'm a huge fan. I've watched damn near every saga, almost every movie. I know the storyline. I know the characters. I love the game. I'm going to share with you guys a story of my brother when he came over the day I got the game. So I asked him before I even touched the sticks. I said, hey, bro, you want to try this? He was like, nah. You go ahead and play. I'm going to just watch. I was like, all right, you sure? He was like, yeah, I'm sure. So I started playing it. And sure enough, I see him kind of look over it. And he was like, where's your other controller? I said, yes, I got him. Yeah, no, seriously, though, it's not his style of game. He normally doesn't even play fighting games. But he was watching me play that game and got hooked on just watching. It's the eye test I mentioned before, right? Our eyes tell us a lot. And him being able to watch me play that game, he fell in love with it. Me and him played split screen in the same house and had a blast. So much fun to the point where when he got home, he downloaded the game on his PS5. And me and him play online together. He plays the story by himself. He's in love with the freaking story mode, which is super hard, by the way. I don't care how good you are at video games. I'm great at games, and I still struggle with some of those matches in the single player mode. But it's a great game. Does it have problems? Yes. Is it unbalanced? Absolutely. But at its core, it is fun, and that's something that you can't take away from that game, and which is why I give it the number 1 spot. Now, there's another game I want to mention. It kind of hit my radar actually a couple days ago. Like, it caught me off guard. It's called Metaphor Refantasio. Metaphor Refantasio. I believe I'm pronouncing that okay. I apologize if I butchered it. But the Metaphor game is a turn-based style game. You know, gives you old Final Fantasy VII vibes in terms of that. But it looks good graphic-wise. It looks interesting. It looks like it was developed very, very well. And a few people that I've heard talk about the game up until this point has raved about it. So that's gonna be a game that I'm gonna get after Black Ops 6 for sure. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm going to do a little review on it. So again, check out the YouTube channel if you guys want to see me live stream it and, review it for you. So yeah, those are my top 3 games. Now, if I had to throw a 4th game in, it would be Mech Warrior 5 Clans. I saw a little bit on it. Again, it's not a rush to buy for me. I don't know if I would pay full price for it. Wait and see kind of deal, but it looked interesting. I want to see what people say about it when it comes out first. So that's not something I'm going to rush to buy the day it comes out. I'm going to see what other people say first. But Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero is number 1. Black Ops 6, number 2. Metaphor Refantasio. Oh my gosh, I'm so ghetto. I can't pronounce words. Check that out. And Mech Warrior 5 is definitely on my watch list for sure. But yeah, those are the games I recommend if you're on a budget. Between Dragon Ball and Black Ops, it really depends. If you really need a shooter, go ahead and get Black Ops if you're on a budget. That one will last you until next year for sure, where Dragon Ball Z is definitely a little bit more niche, but man, it's so much fun. But hey, guys, again, I'd like to thank you for checking out my very first podcast. Please make sure you like, follow, hit all those buttons, share it with friends. If you disagree with me on the Madden take, let me know in the comments. Like, I really want to hear about this. Like, you tell me what you think Madden should do to improve the game. Or tell me I'm nuts. Tell me it's perfect. Tell me you like it. Tell me you enjoy it. But until next time, I am the Black Snake. Peace.